cherry pick the one that concerns them. They have destroyed the state of emergency. There is no room for amendment. It is just like taking a law to the president by the National Assembly. And the president, when he wants to assent to it, say, no, I don't like Section 2, I'm amending it. After amending it myself, I will sign it. No. So the Constitution did not give the National Assembly any right to cherry pick the one they want and leave the one they don't want. It's either they are accepting all or they are dropping all. Having cherry picked, they rejected the entire state of emergency. Let me talk about the legality or constitutionality of what President Ahmed Bola Tinubu did. Sorry, he did not declare state of emergency in Rivers. He declared martial law. What he did was a coup against the Rivers people. The Constitution is very clear on how you elect the governor. Section 179, Section 180. And how governor is removed. Section 188, Section 189. And the law is very clear. How you elect the House of Representative members, which is there, and how you remove. Section 117 and Section 110. Clear and simple. It is by election, by the people of Rivers State. And you want to remove, is by death, resignation, removal by impeachment, permanent incapacity, or in the case of the House of Assembly members,
Mr. Okonkwo,
recall. This is what these places did. So the president simply suspended the provisions of this constitution, including Section 1 and Section
Mr.
1 to
Okonkwo,
which
so
said you cannot govern Nigeria or any part of it by any set of people except in accordance with the constitution. So appointment of sole administrator is,
it's out of it. But the point here is this. What are the opposition doing? The opposition that want to save you in 2027. What are they doing? As you're asking these guys parading themselves as opposition, like, what are you doing if you have somebody who has violated your constitution? It's not the first time, but yeah, it must be the last time. There must be last time for everything, right? I think. Then you hear some people and say, what do you want them to do? Do you want them to arrest him? Do you want them to arrest him? And that should be something that should scare anybody who is fighting a supposed democratic government who is turning tyrannical. So your worst fear is that you don't want to be arrested. Okay, anyway. Maybe that is why Confessor Soyinka, yeah, that one is also very old man, 90-something year old. How old is Soyinka? I think Soyinka should be 90 what? 89, 90, I don't know. It was the man that was pretty much like vocal when it comes to social justice, they call it, and social injustice as well. You know, it was the same man who called Goodluck Ebere Jonathan Nebuchadnezzar and called his wife Shippopotamus. There were so many, several press conferences. All of that were done for this APC, Egbekegbe, to come to power. And since then, you know, people have always been like calling him out, lashing at him, this and that. He will never talk again because his friends are those in power. He even one time, I mean, a while back, confessed that he was into Thailand rice business with Tinubu. And we went back and said there was never a time that Wole Soyinka was selling rice, Thailand rice, bao. But they made us realize that it is not that kind of rice. Mayegun, just move on. Nearly 2 years ago, okay, over a year ago, Confessor Soyinka was seen with Tinubu. Well, I think I remember then that it was in December 2023, just a few months after Tinubu's grabbed power in Nigeria. Confessor Soyinka said, as people were already like lamenting, the shege was just like brewing that time. People are beginning to get used to the shege at the time. Said, what can you say about this Tinubu's government? And Confessor Soyinka said, it will need a year before he is going to assess Tinubu's regime. That is too early. That was like, just 7 months since he grabbed power. So since after that, it's been like a year after that, people have been like calling him out. So yesterday he was on a program. Apart from the fact that he actually struggled to condemn the illegality of the state of emergency declared by Tinubu in Rivers State, right? Struggled and struggled, but he finally said it was an excessive use of power. An indirect way of saying that's an abuse of power. That is illegal, But who is going to go and face call you, you have done something wrong. You are going to be punished for this. Who is going to lead that charge when majority are doing everything to get his attention so that they can have their own bite of the cake, like anything at all for the boys. Street tough or street hard, so to say. Anyway, it was questioned again. You said we should give you a year, Professor. It's been over a year now. We've not heard from you. Do you have something to say about Tinubu's regime yet? And the confessor, of course, again, deviated and, in style, decided to attack those expecting him to say something about Tinubu. And he said, stop using my timetable. That's what Confessor Soyinka said. Stop using my timetable of assessing Tinubu. Use your own. It's been over a year, Baba.
Let's try and isolate. This is not the first president who has former comrades on the battlefield. And there are other people who are his comrades in the fight against Abacha and even against democratically elected presidents who tried to completely scuttle the powers, not just of state governments, but of local governments. And we also have a situation in which even the governors themselves, remember the siege of Anambra, for instance, there's more than one way of scuttling, the powers, the autonomy, shall we say, relative autonomy of states. So I keep saying, and this is not, and I get tired of repeating myself, that it's about time we took a holistic approach to this and sat down and correctly and rationally restructured the nation. Now, you say that he's been putting his own people in power. I'm sorry, I have not studied the extent. I don't know what the legitimacy of that is. But if you want to make a presentation to me later on, and let us look at it, believe me, I will immediately make my position quite clear. Now, when one says, let me go back, when one says, I am not speaking for the first year, the same principle as I adopted with former presidents, whether you're talking about Buhari or you're talking about Jonathan. In this particular case, as a matter of fact, during the demonstration when the police shot and killed some demonstrators, remember, I had to break, quote unquote, my vow of silence. So there are always exceptions like that. At the same time, on the other hand, I've not swallowed an alarm clock. I don't see why I should put my alarm on and say, okay, 1 year is past, now I must make an assessment. If there's nothing I really feel like talking about, and if I'm busy elsewhere, I'm teaching elsewhere, I'm earning my living up till now elsewhere. So this business of, you haven't come to make this, I don't understand it. Other people are doing the same. This is a collective effort. The Palanos speak consistently, the Bayous speak consistently, the Showers come out and try to lead demonstrations. It's a collective effort. And I choose, according to my energy and my priority, projects which I have universally, globally. And I think that is recognized and respected. People should stop trying to work out my timetable for me. You're free to impute motives to the structure of that calendar. That's their business, not mine. I know what I'm contributing.
Well, Prof, I know you'll understand why a lot of people want to hear your rating of this government. Of course, you said it, that you're not in the practice of rating the first 1 year. So are you saying that you want to push this forward, or you'd rather not even talk about it at all? Just to be clear for people watching.
Let me ask you straight away. The 1 year is up, which means you have a right and I have a responsibility to respond when you call me on certain issues. But if you're saying that I would call a press conference and say, now 1 year is up, let us now make an assessment. The only question I'll ask is, did I do that with Jonathan? Did I do that with Buhari? Did I do that with Obasanjo? Did I do that with anybody? So why is it expected of me? All it means is that 1 year is up. If I'm around, you want to get hold of me, I will speak. That's all that statement meant.
Right. So, Prof, we've been able to get a hold of you, and we would really like you to speak.
Sorry, hold on.
We would really like you to speak to it.
I have to run on an appointment now. I have an event this afternoon. You are invited to it, World
Poetry Day. Yes.
Day. And I have a statement to make there, incidentally. I use opportunities as they come. So come to that one. And I had some statement there which might interest you.
Prof.
And after that, I have another at the General Assembly in New York. Pay attention to it. The next one might be in Australia. You know very well I live in the plane.
All right, bro. Two things I would like you to speak to. Let's use the privilege we have before you go and make your presentation. So, two questions I want you to respond to. First is the fact that the economic policies of the president is biting very hard, and it's been difficult for Nigerians, which is why perhaps they're expecting you to speak, given the fact that the president has promised. These are short measures. These are measures that will be painful in the short term, but will be better in the long term. But given the fact that there's nothing new about such promises from politicians, Nigerians, some don't seem to believe, and they're just angry at the economic hardship. So I'd like you to speak to that as well in responding.
Yes, you want me to speak everything. I'm telling you, I have an event I have to go and prepare right now. Abi? Okay, just come to that afternoon. I will continue this conversation later.
Right.
I know you want to continue eternity.
All right.
No. I have to go. You told me 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Here we are now, nearly 50 minutes.
All right, Prof. It's understandable. Today is World Poetry Day, and we don't want.
I said, if Ahmed Bola Tinubu fails, hold me responsible.
You say?
I say, if Tinubu fails, hold me responsible.
Thank you.
The job people are already angry that this is the worst government.
We have just started.
We must learn a lesson. This man!
You're gonna trust man, Adam, your eyes will see what your mouth cannot talk.
I said, if Ahmed Bola Tinubu fails, hold me responsible.
You say?
I say, if Tinubu fails, hold me responsible.
Thank you.
The job people are already angry that this is the worst government.
We have just started.
We must learn a lesson. This man! This is not the Ahmed Bola Tinubu I know. Since 1992, when I encounter you, I don't think this is the Ahmed Bola Tinubu I know. That calls me his friend, and I call him my friend, and calls me my son, and I call him my father. This is not the Ahmed Bola Tinubu I know.
Confessor Soyinka, Yorùbá bọ̀, Yorùbá ní ọgbọ́n ni àgbàlagbà fi ń sá fún màálù. Loosely translated as, it is with style that an elder, right, runs from a cow. Just say it. What do you think about this? Oh, blah, 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 blah. Just say it there. It became so difficult to actually say, okay, it's good, or he's trying. I mean, things are, or he's tough, blah, 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 blah. No. It just went on and on and on and on and on and on. And he said, okay, come to my event in Australia. To tell us about if your assessment of Tinubu. We are not asking you to call a press conference. Just answer the question on TV, right? Like, even though you always call press conference, by the way. Now you are not asking us to come to America to come and hear your assessment. Going to a program right now. I need to go and prepare for professor. I be confessor. He is actually confessor. And you remember that time when they were putting Agbado in everybody's pockets? That was the time he became a confessor. Confessor Soyinka. That's what my friend will call him. Confessor Soyinka. Say no, it's Soyinka. Soyinka. Right. As much as a lot of the people who are the victims of the Tinubu's illegitimate government, incompetent and corrupt regime, right? Sometimes, on the lighter side, on the lighter sort of a side of it, or you say, if this Tinubu no happen, there are some certain people that you probably respect so much because of their views about Nigeria in the past, that you felt like these are supposed to be our leaders. So with this Tinubu, you have been able to see the true color of majority of your uncles and aunties, your papa, your mamas, where you have supposedly people who have left Nigeria for years. Imagine people who have left Nigeria for years, okay, and living in America, for example, living in America, a Democrat who proudly calls himself a liberal, right? He supports, what do you call it? Immigration policies that welcomes everyone, open border, everybody comes in. America is land of opportunity for everybody. There's no point in, that feeling. And it's well defined ideologically, the politics of America and all that, right? I'm just saying, Now, that same person is a Ronuku online, okay, who practically is promoting xenophobia in Nigeria. Those ones who are like the Lagos Abobakus, spreading their hatred and all that, all because of this Kolu Tifnumbu, right? So there's another development too. I don't know which one I should give you first, Asari Dokudumb or the fights in the National Assembly, because from the report we have now received, right? You remember this lady, Charity Omole, that's her name, Charity Omole. She is an advocate for girl child's rights. And he's also an advocate for, defending sexually assaulted, girls in Nigeria. And I think that is what she built her own brand around, even though she's APC, Bekegbe from Kogi. So she's the one behind the recall process of Natasha Akpoti. And as you saw it yesterday, you see, these guys committed a crime. They were supposed to be arrested, all of them. Now, they went on to grab the voters register for Kogi Central. And they started forging the people's signatures, names, in order to form the quorum for a petition to recall Natasha. Natasha Akpoti is the senator representing Kogi Central. Okay, she is the senator that also defeated the Yeye Bello, the man on the right, the thief that stole 108 billion naira when he was governor of the poor, impoverished Kogi. Okay, so now this lady, right, who is now a special advisor to Olodu of Kogi, the current governor of the place, right? So she's spearheading the recall of Natasha from the Senate for accusing the Senate President, Godlos Akpabiole, of sexual harassment, right? Now, that tells you more about women supporting women, by the way. So it's like women supporting women in the mud right now, okay? But we all know why. Now, Charity Omole after the drama of yesterday, including the bags you see in the background here, right?